Today we will be talking about Abraham Lincoln and his life story. He was born in a log cabin in Hardin County, Kentucky. He had an older sister named Sarah and a younger brother named Thomas, who died in infancy. His parents' names were Thomas and Nancy Lincoln. When Abraham was 9 years old, his mother died of milk sickness. Abraham had a rather rough childhood. When Abraham got a little older, his family moved to Illinois. So even though he was born in Kentucky, Illinois was known as his hometown. A few years later, Abraham went on his own to find a job for steering a flatboat. Then he became part of the Illinois legislature in Sangamon County. Abraham became pretty popular, and then Abraham became a lawyer. Later on in his life, he got engaged to Mary Todd, who came from a wealthy family. The engagement failed, and Abraham began to feel deep depression. So he moved back to his childhood home in Kentucky. Then he returned to Mary in Springfield. Abraham and Mary worked things out and got married. They had 4 children named Robert Todd Lincoln, Edward Lincoln, Willie Lincoln, and Tad Lincoln. 2 of their children died in childhood. One died in his teens, and Robert Lincoln was the only one that made it to adulthood. Abraham became a congressman, and he failed. So he went back to being a lawyer. Abraham was highly against slavery. The issue threatened to rip the nations apart. Abraham did not want this to happen, so he ran for president and was elected. He was the first Republican president and the 16th president of the United States of America. Lots of people liked him. Abraham was the president during the Civil War. He was against slavery. Abraham was for the North. The North is the Union, and he helped with Reconstruction. He was a big part of the Civil War. He was a great president until on the night of April 14, 1865, President Lincoln and his wife Mary entered Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Shortly after 10 p.m., actor John Wilkes Booth entered the presidential box at Ford's Theater and fatally shot President Lincoln. As Lincoln slumped forward in his seat, Booth leaped onto the stage and yelled, "Sic semper tyrannius," which means, "Thus always to triumphs." Booth hurt his leg when he jumped from the presidential box, and he escaped through the back door. Lincoln was rushed across the street to the Petersons' boarding house, where he died early the next morning. Booth killed Abraham Lincoln because of the South's defeat. Many people were shocked by his death. The $5 bill, the penny, and the Lincoln Memorial all serve as a remembrance to President Abraham Lincoln. The memorial's construction began in 1911 and it ended on 1914. Now for our questions. Our first question is a true or false question. You can always go back to look for the answers throughout the video. Abraham's mother died of yellow fever. True or false? Now for our second question. Which of Abraham's sons made it to adulthood? And now for our third question. Which of these names are not one of Abraham's sons? Robert, Tad, John, Edward, or Willie? And now our bonus question. How long did it take to build the Lincoln Memorial? Do the math. I hope you have learned something in this video about Abraham Lincoln's life. Thank you for watching.